Welcome to GlamTalk, powered by your one and only GlamGuider, India's first ingredient transparent beauty and wellness community.
Right. At GlamGuider, we believe beauty isn't just about glowing skin, it's about balance. From mental health to menstrual health, hormones to hygiene, everything is connected.
And today we are breaking silence on what every woman experiences, but very few talk about her intimate, emotional, and reproductive wellness. To unveil this topic, we have Dr. Asta Kaushal with us, who is a leading gynecologist.
Welcome, Dr. Asta. We are so happy to have you here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Astha Kaushal, a board certified gynecologist practicing in Mumbai. I'm the founder of Vivitsa Clinic in Kandivali West, Mumbai. I love to talk about women in a real and a judgment free way, from periods to pregnancy to menopause, hormones, everything. So, thank you for having me here.
So, Doctor, let's start with our first segment. And it is unarguably the most searched topic on internet, which is all about pregnancy. We often see women prioritizing everyone else over themselves. But why is it important for a woman to first take care of her own health before even thinking about pregnancy?
So, preconception wellness is so important, but it is often overlooked. Your body and your mind, they are your baby's first home, right? So, it's very important for a woman to prepare herself beforehand, physically, mentally, and emotionally, right? So, physically, she has to take care of herself first. She has to make sure that all her blood tests, from thyroid to all her hormones, vitamins, are absolutely normal. If there are any issues with PCOD, with weight gain, or any other hormonal balances, so they should be taken care of, and that will really help in her pregnancy going very smoothly.
So, most of the women start paying attention to their reproductive health only when they are planning or expecting. So, what are a few lifestyle habits that make a big difference in maintaining it?
So, like I said, physically, they can start small, start getting into moving regularly, whatever they like. Even a 10-minute walk, a 10-minute yoga session, a 10-minute core routine goes a long way. Start small, eat nutritious, balanced meals, get good sleep, a good 8 to 10 hours of consistent sleep, and this will help them physically. And wellness is not just physical, it is also mental. Mental readiness is so important before you're going to get pregnant. Ask yourself, am I ready to get pregnant? Because a baby brings joy, a pregnancy brings joy, but it also brings with it responsibilities, and there's a transformation which is like none other you have seen in your life. So just make sure that you're mentally prepared for it. Have conversations, build a support system. Conversations, especially with your partner, about responsibilities, about finances, about how you're going to go about the whole process together. So it is very important for them to take care of themselves and what they're going to experience next in future. And very important, I feel at this point, is to get into a routine, because being in a routine really helps you to stay grounded. So just slow down, do things that calm you, which can be yoga, journaling, or just spending some quiet time.
Also, we often hear that stress affects fertility, right? So, can emotional pressure actually disrupt your hormones and cycles?
Definitely, this is such an important point. I mean, stress from anything, even emotional pressure, exams, your extreme lows, they can bring about an increase in a hormone, the stress hormone, which is cortisol, right? So, cortisol is this hormone which affects every other hormone in your body, also your estrogen and progesterone. Progesterone is your pregnancy hormone, and estrogen is a hormone which is very important for a female for ovulation. So, your brain and your reproductive system, your menstrual cycles, they're connected. They're talking constantly, they're in contact with each other. So, imagine this cortisol, this stress hormone, being like a static in that, in that communication. So, it completely disrupts that flow. So, this can lead to delayed cycles, irregular cycles, even missed cycles, right? So, stress definitely plays a big part in this.
Also, post pregnancy, I've seen many women saying that I don't feel like myself anymore. So, So, why does this happen emotionally and physically?
So postpartum blues are really a thing, and women do go through it because their life is changing, and they are the first contact for their baby for everything from night feeds to changing diapers to putting them to sleep, at least in the initial few months. So it's very normal for them to get overwhelmed, and it's very important for them to seek help when it's most needed.
So at GlamGuider, we love to recommend mindful tips to our users um, related to the self care. For instance, it could be regarding body oils or short walks, maybe even meditation. Do these rituals play a vital role, or even a slightest of a role, I would say, into balancing your mental and physical recovery?
Yes, definitely. There is a lot of mental change also that is needed at this point, because you have to understand that you should not compare yourself to your older self. You are not going to be that old person again. Right now, you're going to be a much stronger, wiser person. So you're preparing for that. So instead of trying to get back into that old life and that old body, you should concentrate on rebuilding strength and becoming stronger. So for this, I always advise go slow again, focus on gentle movement, start exercising, stretching, doing some pelvic floor exercises. So this is going to increase the circulation and the blood flow, and it's going to elevate your mood. That is one thing. Second thing, you have to start trying to reconnect with your older self, with yourself basically. So whenever you get the time and whenever there is an opportunity, take time to just calm yourself down, listen to some music, maybe take a tea break. And I think you should prioritize self care over perfection. So just leave the dishes dirty and take a nap with your baby, right? And don't really look in the mirror and do that negative talk. Have a pep talk and just remind yourself how incredible you are for creating a human being and going through so much. Yeah. And it is very important to have a support system again. Ask for help. A lot of us independent women actually hesitate to ask for help from friends, family. So create a support system. This will go a long way.
So let's dive into our second segment, which is all about menstrual health. So, doctor, menstrual cycles are always treated like a monthly problem, but actually, it's an indicator of overall wellness. So, what does a healthy period really mean?
This is so true. What we see is just periods of those 5, 6 days. Oh, it's a monthly problem. But periods are actually a part of a larger menstrual cycle, which is a monthly thing. You can consider it as a monthly report card of your health. So, having a healthy menstrual cycle will only happen when your hormones, your metabolism, your reproductive system are all in sync. So, having a regular period, not so painful, not so heavy, is something that is considered as normal. Having periods with irregularities of more than 7 days is something that we don't consider normal. And bleeding for more than 7 days, less than 2 days, that is also not considered as normal. And of course, everybody is different. Everybody's menstrual cycle is different. For somebody, getting the periods every 35 days might be normal, and for somebody, getting the periods every 24 days may be normal, and that is absolutely fine. A change in your otherwise normal and constant menstrual cycles is something that we look for, and which is the early sign of any underlying problem or hormonal imbalance.
So every woman's body is different, and probably the cycles might be different for
Of
everyone.
course, yes.
Okay, but then why? There are certain women who experiences cramps severely, whereas there are others who barely feel anything.
So we get cramps because our body releases this chemical prostaglandins. So some women might have higher levels for it, and that is why they experience more pain. But severe cramps may be associated with conditions like endometriosis, fibroids, or polyps. So if you have severe cramps which every time require medication which disrupt your daily activities, then you should go consult a gynecologist. Otherwise, pains and cramps just mean that your cycles are regular, you're ovulating, And there are ways to cope with it, and only medicines are not the answer for it.
And how does stress, junk food, and irregular sleep affect your menstrual cycles?
Like I said, cortisol is the stress hormone. It reduces all the other hormones. So whenever that rises, your estrogen, progesterone, their levels start fluctuating. So your ovulation gets fluctuated. Your ovulation might be erratic. You might have delayed periods. You might have missed periods just because of stress. So having a lot of women must have noticed this, having during exams or during some tough or emotional lows, even in their jobs, they might experience this irregularity, and that is just because of this one hormone, cortisol.
These days, I've seen many young girls getting menstrual cycles at a very young age. So, why is that the case?
So there's a surge in a lot of processed food being a part of our meals, and not just having processed food once in a month. Now it has come down to having processed food every other day. So processed food, junk food, foods which are dense in calories, all of these affect our cycles, our health. Like I said, menstrual cycle is normal when metabolism, hormones, reproductive health, everything is in sync. So all of these disruptors which are there, like junk food and less activity, going less out to play, more of screen time, all of this is contributing to some fluctuations in the hormones also, and it does slow down the metabolism. So all of these are the reasons why girls are getting periods earlier now. I did get a call from a friend, Arey, I have a neighbor, the daughter is only 8 years old and she's got her periods. But we checked for everything, but there was nothing else which could be pointed as the reason for her getting early periods. But now it is becoming a norm. Girls are getting periods early. And that is because of the changes which have come into our lifestyle slowly, but now they are there.
On GlamGuider, we have seen a lot of users reviewing menstrual cups, organic pads, or even some reusable options. What should a woman look for while choosing probably a safe, I would say, and hygienic products?
So, when looking for your menstrual hygiene products, I always say look for these three things: safety, comfort, and sustainability. By safety, I mean they should not be causing rashes, they should not be irritating your skin or disrupting your intimate ecosystem down there. So, look for terms like medical grade silicone when going to buy menstrual cups. These are hypoallergenic, and these will not cause any allergies or disrupt your ecosystem. Then, when it comes to sanitary pads, look for pointers like organic cotton pads and thin pads, and more highly absorbent pads, and which are odor free and fragrance free. Plus, when it comes to comfort, now you have to define what is comfortable for you. For somebody who is more outdoors, they would be more comfortable with using menstrual cups. For somebody who has a heavier flow, they might be comfortable with using highly absorbent big pads. So, see what is comfortable for you, and sustainability. Now, when we discuss options of reusable sanitary products, so we have to understand that they have to be cleaned properly and they have to be maintained. So see how sustainable that is for you. And for sustainability by large, I mean what is environment friendly. So I feel single use sanitary pads and tampons create a lot of waste, and this does affect our ecosystem, our environment. So these are the three things I generally ask women to look for.
And can natural remedies like yoga, heat therapy, or maybe essential oils help with period fatigue?
This is definitely backed by science. So, some amount of cramps, having mild to moderate pain can be eased out. So, I don't mean to say that it can completely replace medicines and medical treatment, but it changes the way your body reacts to stress and pain. So, for example, yoga therapy. So, doing yoga and doing breathing exercises, they are going to reduce your stress levels, right? And they are going to regulate your brain and your entire hormonal system of the body. So that is going to help you regularize your cycles. That's one thing. Then heat therapy. So, using hot compresses or hot water bags, they have been shown to increase the blood supply to the uterus and the area around there. So, this helps to flush out these chemicals, like I mentioned, prostaglandins, which cause pain. So, they do help in reducing some mild to moderate period cramps. And when it comes to essential oils, lavender, lavender oil, and peppermint oil, these are antispasmodics. So when they're used for aromatherapy or in massages, they can reduce the muscle tension and also can improve your mood by increasing serotonin.
So you mentioned, this is all science backed. Just getting a little off topic because of this. Um, Even today, I have seen a lot of women. They are still following the traditional beliefs. Beliefs could be like, do not enter the kitchen during the menstruals, or do not wash your hair, or something of those sorts. Do they really have any basis? Is it also science backed, or this is?
Honestly, no. This is all coming down from old cultural practices. There is no scientific evidence for why you should not be taking a bath, washing hair, or not going to the kitchen. So, in earlier times, women did not have access to hot water, to clean water that easily. And that is why, just for the sake of giving them rest and for maintaining hygiene, women were barred from going into the kitchen and washing hair. But I do not see any reason why somebody should not wash their hair or take a bath just because they're on their periods. Periods are not impure. The period blood is not impure. In fact, the point of purity should not come here. It is just, I mean, nobody's ever asked if your urine is pure or not when it's coming out of your body, right?
So, while ending this segment, if you had to give one message to help women own their periods, what would that be?
I'd say your periods are your superpowers. They are not a setback. So look at them as a report card, your monthly report card, which will warn you and which will inform you when you need to take rest, take it slow, and cut yourself some slack.
So, with that, we enter our third segment, which is about PCOD and PCOS. Recent studies shows that more than 15% of college-going women, they are facing with a problem known as PCOS, right? Alone, and PCOD has its own magnitude altogether. Still, there are many women which are not understanding, how deep this goes. And the basic question which comes to the mind is that what is the basic or real difference between PCOD and PCOS, and why is this condition being so common nowadays?
Yeah, this is very true. PCOD has become very common. I would like to say if there are 10 people and out of 10, if 6 have glasses, I feel the same goes for PCOD now in terms of women and young girls. So PCOS and PCOD, people think are twins, but they're not. They're more like cousins. They're related. But PCOD is something which is a hormonal change, but in a much wilder version of the hormonal imbalance. And PCOS is a full blown syndrome, which is much worse. Women suffering from PCOD, there's delayed ovulation. There are more immature eggs, which we call follicles, which get filled with cysts. Their ovaries start swelling up, and that is what you see on the ultrasound as polycystic ovaries. So at this point, if you catch it and you try to make some lifestyle changes, and so this can be reversed easily early on when it is just PCOD. PCOS is a syndrome. We call something a syndrome when there are multiple systems involved. So it's not just your reproductive system and your cycles going erratic. It's insulin resistance, it's increase in your testosterone levels, increase in hair growth, male pattern hair growth around your chin and your jawline, having acne, having alopecia. So it's a more of a metabolic syndrome, and these women are at a higher risk for developing endometrial cancer, high blood pressure, and morbid obesity, and everything else that comes with it.
So, is it like when you mentioned, it when it is PCOD and then it is PCOS? So, is it like PCOD gets converted into PCOS?
Yeah, so PCOD is something where we are just noticing now that your ovaries are swelling up and your ovulation is not that regular, and it can get worsened if not corrected to a full blown PCOS. which is a syndrome.
So, talking about PCOD and PCOS, are there any early signs that shouldn't be ignored before it becomes serious?
Yeah, so you might start seeing that your periods are getting irregular. You have missed your periods. They are consistently irregular. Missing 1 or 2 periods in the times of stress is something which is okay. But constantly your periods are irregular. Then you are, like I said, you're having thick, coarse hair in areas which where you had not seen hair before, like your jawline, your chin. There's alopecia. There's some hair loss. It is called as male pattern baldness, which happens in women with PCOS. So that, plus if there is severe fatigue, there are cramps, there are mood swings, there are sugar cravings, plus there's weight gain, especially around your waist area, which is very difficult to lose. So all of these are the first warning signs of PCOD.
So, continuing the topic of PCOD itself, a lot of GlamGuider community members share with us how PCOD is affecting them, how it is hitting their confidence. They report changes into their size and weight, basically skin texture and everything, including their emotional ups and downs, which they face a lot. How do you guide women to cope with the mental aspect of this entire hormonal imbalance?
So, PCOD just doesn't affect hormones. It affects how a woman feels about herself. It reduces her confidence. So, the only thing I tell all these girls now is that stop thinking of PCOD as a personal failure. It's an hormonal imbalance, which is a part and parcel of the lifestyle that we are living today, and it can be reversed. Also, don't think of it and the treatment which has been advised to you as fixing yourself. Think of it as optimizing yourself. I mean, something has gone wrong and we have to take actions to correct it. Whenever you feel overwhelmed or fatigued or you have bad mood swings, just take 10 minutes off. Don't isolate yourself. You can join groups. You can talk to your parents, your family, and don't think of it as a taboo that that you can't talk about. Take mindful breaks and journal your moods. Journaling will help you identify a pattern, and whenever it happens again, you won't be caught off guard and you will have better ways to manage it. So, PCOD, don't go very aggressive with the treatment, don't go very aggressive with the investigations. I just say, just make some lifestyle shifts, which is not something which is impossible, and it is something that can be reversed. So, don't cry yourself to sleep.
As you mentioned about reversing, can PCOD be managed with proper diet, sleep, and exercise?
Definitely, to all the girls who come to me with 10, 15 years of irregular periods, PCOD diagnosis, I tell them I will not go aggressive with your blood test or your investigations, not aggressive with your medical treatment. See, losing just 5% of your body weight is also going to start regularizing your cycles. So, reducing stress, like I said, by taking 10 minutes off, journaling your moods, and eating a well balanced nutrition diet, protein and fiber are your best friends. Avoid high sugary food, calorie dense food, dairy products. Replace it with more gut friendly foods and probiotics. So, this will bring about a change in how you feel completely, and also bring about a change in all the issues that are going on with your metabolic and reproductive system down there.
So, since GlamGuider explores ingredient transparency, are there any skincare routines or maybe clean beauty habits which can help women in managing their emotional or maybe hormonal breakouts?
So, the acne that comes with PCOD is more of an hormonal imbalance which is on the inside. So, when it is combined with a good skincare routine, then it helps. Only the skincare routine on surface is not going to help you. So, having said that, using gentle cleansers, especially those containing salicylic acids, the milder ones like Simple or the one from Himalaya, using non comedogenic moisturizers, and a good sunscreen, these go a long way. Don't overburden your skin with actives just because you follow 10 influencers or dermatologists on Instagram. So you try all of it. No, it's just going to worsen your inflammation. Niacinamide, salicylic acid, zinc, green tea extracts, these are very good for your skin. So look for these ingredients in whatever you buy. Plus, have a consistent skincare routine. If your acne is persistent, it is cystic, so we might have to combine this skincare routine with medical treatments like myoinositol and some mild anti-androgen treatment. So all I want to say is that a clean beauty is not about what's in the bottle; it's also what is in your bloodstream. So when you combine both of them, it will go a long way.
If someone was just diagnosed today with PCOD or PCOS, so what's the first thing you would tell her, not as a patient but as a woman?
So, as a woman, I would tell her I've been there and I've gone through what she's going through. The acne, the weight, everything will drop off. Just see this as a sign for you to take better care of yourself. Take a step back from everything that you're doing, cut down the stress, bring the calm in, and you should be okay.
So, with that, we enter our fourth segment, which is sexual health and intimate hygiene. Even in the year 2025 that we are living, women still are not open to talk about their intimate health. Why is this silence still existing?
So, this is all because of the age old conditioning that women have remained silent always about their menstrual health issues, their intimate hygiene issues, and in general, their vaginal health. So, it is all because of the age old practices. But now, to my surprise, I see a lot of young girls walking down to my clinic and talking about intimate health and the problems that they're facing. So we have to replace this silence about vaginal discharge, about periods, about pain, about deliveries, and convert them into conversations in schools, in families, with our friends, and only then we can overcome this age-old conditioning and patriarchy.
So, doctor, what's a good hygiene routine? And how often should a woman visit a gynecologist even when everything feels normal?
Washing your intimate areas with a gentle soap or just water is enough. If you are used to using vaginal washes, then something which is pH balanced, maintaining a balance between 3.5 to 4.5. Then change your underwear every day. Wear cotton underwears which soak sweat. So this will reduce the infections which you get. Plus, whenever you're on your periods, change whatever sanitary pads or tampons that you're using every 4 to 6 hours. If you're using menstrual cups, then at least clean them twice a day. After urination or after having an intercourse, you can clean down there from front to back. And when I say down there, I mean the vulva. You don't have to clean the vagina. It is a self-cleaning organ. It is very independent. You don't have to go inside and douche it with water or any chemicals. So just clean the outer part and it will take care of itself.
So we see, talking about cleaning, we see dozens of people now reviewing, intimate washes and wipes. Are these all really safe? And can probably using wrong products or maybe over cleansing create some kind of imbalance?
Like I said, vagina is a self-cleaning organ. It has good bacteria just like how you have good bacteria in your gut. So they're always cleaning, keeping it clean and maintaining an acidic pH of 3.5 to 4.5 so that infections don't crop in. So using vaginal washes or wipes which have a lot of fragrance, which have sulfates or parabens. So this can all disrupt all that microbiome and the ecosystem which is down there, reduce the good bacteria, and that is how it brings in infections again and again. So I would recommend look for terms like sulfate free, paraben free, fragrance free, not very colored, and then you should be good. Look for something which is pH balanced and which is mild.
Many women also experience white discharge, odor, and itching, but hesitate to consult. So, what are a few early signs of vaginal infections that shouldn't be ignored?
Having a white curdy discharge or cotton cheese like discharge means that you have an yeast infection. Having a thin grayish discharge has a fishy odor can indicate bacterial infection. Then having greenish or yellowish discharge can indicate you have trichomoniasis, or having severe itching down there, redness and swelling of vulva, if there is pain while having intercourse or after intercourse, or if there is a lot of dryness down there. So these are all the indications of having an infection. And if these are persistent, then it's better to go to a gynecologist and get STI ruled out. Also, another thing that I want to add here is, having said this does not mean that your vagina should be absolutely dry. There's some amount of discharge which is absolutely normal. Having a clear discharge, like a raw egg white, just after your periods in your follicular phase is normal. Having a little thick whitish discharge just before your periods is also normal. And this actually means that you have ovulated in this cycle. Yeah, so having discharge is not the problem. The things which I mentioned, those are problematic.
So, if you have to give one line advice for every woman watching, that how should they take care of their intimate health and hygiene, what would that be?
Think of your vagina as your skin. Any changes you see with the texture, with the color, or with the odor, identify them, listen to this, and act early.
So, with this, we enter our fifth segment, and this segment is dedicated to all our GlamGuider viewers because our GlamGuider community basically sends us a set of questions which they seek answers for, and we will take a few of them, and we'll take it very real and raw. We'll keep it as it is, and you can probably explain how is that there is a further point to it, or whether that is a myth or something. You can basically give your views on that.
Let's start. So, one of our user mentioned, I feel drained all the time, even my reports are fine. Could it still be hormonal?
Yes, it definitely can be hormonal, and by that I don't just mean your estrogen, progesterone, your ovarian hormones. It could be because of high cortisol levels, because of stress, and because of maybe not taking good care of yourself in terms of diet, sleep, and working out regularly. Also, get a thyroid profile done. Sometimes it is that hormone which is fluctuating or is not right.
And this is a frequently asked question. I have heard using vaginal washes daily can upset the pH. How true is that?
That is very true. So, these vaginal washes, some of them are really harsh and toxic. They can affect your pH. And like I said, pH is very important. Lactobacilli maintain that pH. If that pH is disrupted, other bacteria are going to come in and they're going to cause the infection. So, I would recommend not using intimate washes with a lot of fragrance and odor, and which have alcohol, sulfates in them.
Next, we received a DM. I am in my early 40s and missing periods. Is this menopause and how can I prepare emotionally?
So, the thing about menopause is the transition begins as early as 8 to 10 years before the actual event of menopause. So, your periods are going to start getting irregular. The only way to, I think, deal with it is that you have dealt with so much in your life, and you are this woman who is so strong, and you're always going through transitions like seasons. So look at it as a season which is passing, and take support whenever you need. If your periods are really very erratic and irregular and you are really bothered by that, then do seek help from a gynecologist. She can put you on some medicines and help you with that.
One of our followers commented this. Can certain skincare ingredients impact hormonal balance or fertility in any way?
Definitely. Like I said, look for terms like sulfates, parabens, and alcohol in your body washes, in your shampoos, of course. Also, a lot of these products have hormonal disruptors, endocrine disruptors in them, which means that they have substances which mimic your natural hormones, like how they are in your body, and they can disrupt and fluctuate their normal levels. So, definitely, they can affect your menstrual health too.
One of our GlamGuider member asked, I noticed dark patches on my neck and underarms. Could that mean something deeper?
Yes, so having dark velvety patches on your neck and your underarms could be a sign of insulin resistance, which can come from PCOD. So this is called as acanthosis nigricans, and this is one of the first signs of insulin resistance.
So, Dr. Astha, thank you so very much. Today, you actually reminded us that wellness isn't just about medicine, it's about mindfulness. And every part of woman's body needs attention and care.
Yeah, so I feel we are in an age where we are finally beginning to talk about women and women issues, and we should continue this. And I feel really honored to be a part of creating awareness and having this talk on women's health. Thank you.
And to all our listeners, remember your health is your confidence source. So ask questions, seek help, and never ever feel guilty about prioritizing yourself.
Stay tuned with GlamGuider and be a part of our journey. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn for simple, honest, and helpful beauty guidance.
This is Glam Talk by GlamGuider. Honest beauty, honest conversations. Until next time, stay strong, stay guided.
As a gynecologist, I truly admire the incredible work GlamGuider is doing. Their commitment towards women's health education and women's empowerment is truly commendable. Their community page especially stands out. It brings together real people to connect, to learn, and to support each other. It's inspiring to see such a trusted and caring space making so much difference. Thank you for having me here.